divine power, divine right, a guide to unleashing your inner light. Defining and clarifying the exchange of shamanic energy gifts, Part 3. The power behind the unity of the masculine and feminine energies. It is important to understand how the interactions between the masculine and feminine energetic creations affect our life experiences. These ancient energies are two aspects of the one. When they are ebbing and flowing and in harmony within our energetic and cellular aspects, they are like the ultimate tag team. They are two faces of one energy. By the way, both genders carry these energetic creations. The feminine and the masculine are the balance of love and power. Power, in its highest form, is not to be interpreted in a negative connotation. It is different from force, as we have witnessed with dictators, criminals, or other controlling type people. It is all about the cooperation between the energies. We are all keepers of these ancient energies, and it is our birthright to have this partnership be harmonious, powerful, productive, and joyful. To understand this more clearly, the energetic male vibration is the aspect that has an outward momentum. It is that part of spirit that supports outward manifestation and materialization, which begins solely as a desire, idea, or wish from the feminine energy. The male energy exists to support the female energy's wishes and desires. The male energy is highly focused and is connected to the energy of individuality. The female energy is the energy of going inward, being contemplative and introspective. It is the energy that allows all possibilities to be considered. It desires, it dreams, and it births ideas. It is the vessel of unlimited creative potential. The female energy connects more to the energy of wholeness. It does not differentiate or individualize. Basically, when a desire or idea is birthed by the female energy, the energy that comes forth to support it and manifest it is the male energy. It wants to be of service and help her bring the idea into reality to experience it. The male energy pulls the trigger on creating the budget or making the call or driving to a location or seeking the guidance to get closer to realizing the desire of the feminine. If you want to be both gentle and strong, intuitive and successful, fully present in both the spiritual and physical worlds, the balancing of the female and male is essential. The mystical declaration of I am can be understood in many forms. One way is the following: I, the male energy in its focus and individuality, and am, as the female in her expansive, encompassing ways. However, they are one in creating joyfully. I recently came across a great analogy. Think of the fingers as male energy which holds individual expression, and think of the palm as the female energy which unites all the fingers and is their base. Though the fingers seem separate, they are not. On the contrary, they need each other to function properly and powerfully. The difference between feelings and emotions. Most of us use the word feeling and emotion interchangeably. However, within higher awareness, there is a major distinction. Firstly, emotions always carry a story. They are directed by thought. If we are sad, angry, fearful, regretful, guilt-filled, shame-filled, rage-filled, depressed, anxious, and frustrated, there is always a story behind it. Whether the story occurred 50 years ago, 5 years ago, or 5 minutes ago. Emotions, energy in motion, combined with a very strong judgment and conclusion, give way to very powerful low-vibrating creations, which not only taint one's current life as a truth, quote-unquote, a truth used to live by, but it can also taint many generations of descendants. The distorted energy creation can be imprinted in cellular memory and passed on just like hair color, eye color, size of nose, and height. If passed on, every descendant receives a different intensity level of this energetic belief and creation. Though it may seem unbelievable, it demonstrates our power to create. The energetic creations can either be elevating or limiting. In this case, we are focusing on those creations which disrupt one's flow in life. I have had numerous clients who were affected not by something that occurred in their current life experience, but by a heavy laden emotional creation that initiated with an ancestor. This is such an insidious, difficult thing to discover in traditional talk therapy. For example, I have a young male client, Darren, who was full of severe insecurities. He felt paralyzed in creating his life and had no direction. He would easily concede to others' opinions and greatly feared the disapproval of others. Darren had the energy of a person who did not want to be noticed. During our first session, I inquired about his childhood. There was nothing in his childhood that warranted this extreme emotional and mental disruption. I then asked about his lineage, and I soon discovered that on both the paternal and maternal side, his great-grandparents and grandparents, when they were children, had lived through a horrific genocide. The horrors they witnessed and the unimaginable things they had to do to survive, even Hollywood would not attempt to recreate. The emotional creations that were created by Darren's ancestors held the energy of, don't bring attention to yourself. We have no power. It is not safe to be. How shameful. We have no identity. Their dignity and rights as a human, as a creation, were completely stripped. Darren and I had 4 very powerful and transformational sessions. He is now going to school and started a side business as a webmaster. A couple of months after our last session, Darren's sister, who usually puts him down, gave him a heartfelt compliment. This possibly occurred because transforming heavy ancestral emotional creations also positively affects all members of the family and diminishes the distorted emotional creations from continuing down the lineage. Future generations can be freed. I have discovered that putting a stop to perpetual low-vibrating ancestral energetic creations is a main purpose for which many souls have incarnated at this time. Many souls have inhabited the planet to perform a labor of love and contribute to the integration of higher light, purification, and heart-based living. We are at a time in history where in much of the world you are no longer executed, exiled, or excommunicated for seeking, asking, questioning, and participating outside of traditional religious dogma. I will give more examples of ancestral low-vibrating emotional creations in a later chapter. You've probably already ascertained that feelings do not carry a past story of any kind. Feelings exist in the now. They are in the eternal, present time. They are felt by the physical body and come forth from the heart-mind. They hold a deep knowing of what is correct for you and flows for you. They support you in aligning to what is arising for you in the here and now. For example, one can have a feeling of, though this seems like it may be a good opportunity, I feel like I need to pass on this. It doesn't fit my long-term desire. Or, I feel I need to call my friend. Unlike emotions, feelings belong to you and you alone. They are closely connected to your true essence, instincts, and intuitions. They are receptive to the higher realm frequencies. According to the Institute of Heart Math, the heart has an electromagnetic field which is 5,000 times greater than the brain. The brain is not smarter than the heart and intuitive feelings. Trust your heart mind. When you trust what you are feeling and accept and flow with who you truly are, you feel aligned internally. This allows you to commit to the higher creation of you and to make the correct decisions and choices that work for you. Possible experiences when increasing your light vibration. Consciously requesting and receiving light energy gifts brings forth an internal activation process. This process can bring about its own set of experiences. Please be aware of this and try not to jump to conclusions or judgments about what is unfolding. Every person's experience is unique. However, I would like to share some of what I have witnessed. In some cases, the person feels a freedom and a sense of peace from what was weighing heavy on them. At other times, emotional distortions, which the person had not yet consciously acknowledged, may surface. This occurs so that it can also be transformed and shifted. If this happens, acknowledge the story behind the emotions, and when you are ready to release the story along with the attached emotions, send them into the eternal light. Then request energy gifts, which will reconcile this emotion or emotions. As the light gifts integrate and unfold within you, you may experience irritability, intolerance, or being just very tired for a few days. Be gentle with yourself if this occurs, and just apologize to anyone you may snap at. In some cases, extreme dreaming happens. You may or may not remember the dreams. Additionally, there have been a few cases in which great hunger comes about. It passes within a few days as well. As time transpires and you continue shifting and increasing your light, circumstances may occur in which your heart may tug at you to initiate steps you may have not had the courage to take before. For example, you may finally take a stand on an abusive work manager or boss. You may take steps to end a personal relationship which was full of frustration and possibly abuse. You may find the courage to change direction in your career or studies. Or perhaps something you were not anticipating occurs. You may be part of a layoff or discover an infidelity. Basically, high frequencies in light want to experience more light and good vibrations. Therefore, if things need to improve, you will be nudged to seek better circumstances for yourself. On the contrary, you may also receive connections and opportunities which were not on your radar screen. Additionally, others close to you may begin to act kinder or become more responsive to you. Trust that as your inner light unfolds, it is attempting to align you to your heart, higher truths, personal responsibility, and commitment for your creations. It is increasing your self-confidence in embracing who you truly are. The light wants you to acknowledge your birthright and power, and it supports you in creating and co-creating with others. It desires all that is for your highest good. The most transformative results I witness occur when there is complete surrender and heartfelt commitment to release and transform whatever pattern, belief, emotion, or fear has been causing disruptive experiences. As you continue exchanging low vibrating energies for light-filled energies, stop and reflect on whatever is unfolding differently for you. Realize you are being given other options to create better and more flowing experiences for yourself. In many instances, you will have already known in your heart that it was time to move on and transform these parts of your life. As you journey, I urge you to stay open and expansive and not lock yourself down with fear or doubt. Stay connected to your heart. Have your heart direct your feelings and thoughts.